Welcome to Open Arms, an honest conversation about firearms. Hey everyone, I'm your host Brian Lockerman, and today I have with me Tim McCarthy from Move the Needle. Welcome, Tim.
Thanks, Brian. Great to be here.
It's great to have you here. Now, can you explain to us what Move the Needle is?
Move the Needle is a collection of individuals who call themselves the silent majority, that were just sick and tired of watching what's happening in California and the country and locally. And we're looking for a place to gather voices, gather some momentum together, and try to influence our elected leaders to do the right thing.
That sounds great. Sounds awesome. And you have like events and things like that?
Yep, we have events. We do rallies. You might see us on an overpass with American flags and blue line flags and Second Amendment flags. We have a lot of Second Amendment people in our group. We do truck rallies.
Oh, that's fantastic.
We hold speaker events where we have candidates that are running for office come in and speak to a large audience. We write into newspapers and participate in trade shows, anything we can do to get our voice out there.
Very nice. Now, you're trying to make a political career as well? Is that my guess?
No, not really.
No?
I just want to fix the state and fix the country. I prefer not to be in politics.
Okay.
I'd rather be camping and having fun and playing golf. But
There you go.
There's a lot of things going wrong in our area and in the country, and it takes a lot of people to stand up and fight back. And I just happen to be one of those people that I'm not afraid to take a blow for the group.
That's fantastic. And that's another reason why I put the show together, Open Arms, to, support the Second Amendment. We can't lose that, And I think you're pretty much pro Second Amendment too, correct?
Yeah, definitely Second Amendment. We have a nice group. Move the Needle actually hosts some trainings for some of our members. We'll bring people together that are afraid of guns, and we bring them into one of our houses, put out the guns and let them touch it, get comfortable with it, and then we'll organize a day at a shooting range to train them on how to use it, have some fun with it, and get comfortable with it, so that they're confident when they buy a gun that they're not afraid of it. They can protect themselves.
That is what your point on with that, because I tell you, that's what the show, again, it's all about gun safety. We're trying to keep people safe when they're doing that, and it can be a fun thing as long as you do it safely.
Yeah, I found there's, it's quite an array of different people, from young to old, women, men.
Oh yeah.
Republicans, Democrats, atheists. It doesn't matter. They just want to protect their family. And right now, with the way crime is increasing, thanks to Newsom letting out criminals,
I know,
and the gun laws becoming more and more strict. More people are buying guns now. More people are getting their concealed carry weapon now. This is the time to make sure everybody's trained and know how to protect themselves and keep it safe.
I agree. I agree 100%. 5.4 million new gun owners last year alone. That's a lot. So that we know those people have to be trained, or there's going to be accidents, which is good. It's what you're doing. It sounds like you're doing a really good job doing that.
Yeah, we try hard. We know that a lot of the politicians are trying to, put guns back into the holster. Don't let people get the guns. But really, it's the criminals that are using the guns wrong. The people who just want to protect themselves. So if they're in an environment and they get mobbed or someone breaks into their house, they know how to stand their ground.
100%. Now, what is your history? Do you have guns growing up as a kid?
I do not remember any guns growing up as a kid. I wasn't really, again, I just played sports most of my life. And when I moved to California, I saw there was a lot of issues going on with crime. And, really 3 or 4 years ago is when I started to look at guns to protect my family, to protect my home, because I realized at that time it took a while for the police to get to your house. You have to, as the man of the house, you have to protect your family. That's the first thing you have to do. You can't rely on anybody else. So if, burglaries typically happen between 11 p.m. and 4 a.m., You have to have a gun nearby. You have to have it loaded and ready to go. But you also have to be aware of your surroundings with children.
There you go.
Where do you store it? How do you store it? Where it's angled. You always assume that they're loaded, and you have to be careful with them.
You said everything we teach in our safety programs. Everything. That was great. And you're right about that. Believe it or not, I had a couple come to me, local couple, own a business, and they had this disgruntled employee who was out to take them out. He didn't come after them with a gun. He came after them with a car full of gas cans to blow them up, believe it or not. So when that failed, he still said, I'm coming back after you. So they called the police, obviously. And the sheriff that was working the case told them, look, there's going to be a chance that we may not be able to get here, as fast as we need to be. So you might want to consider getting a gun and getting some training, being safe, bringing it to your home. And they did that. They came to us. We trained them. They got their gun. They got in there, and they couldn't thank me more than enough how safe they felt after that.
Yeah, you have to know some de-escalation stuff as well. Obviously,
Absolutely.
after shooting somebody is a life-altering event.
Yeah, I know.
You don't want to have to do that, but you'd rather shoot somebody and live another day than die right then.
Exactly.
Obviously, the first thing you want to do is get away. So do whatever you can to get away. But if someone's coming in your house, there's nowhere to get away. You stand your ground and.
That is true. That's 100% on that one. And you're going to protect yourself and your family for no matter what. And that's what it's all about, just being safe.
Yeah, there's a lot of stuff going on with safety. There's a lot of videos online. There's a lot of shooting ranges you go to. You can pay somebody to help teach you how to shoot. The biggest thing is to get comfortable with it. If you're going to carry it around your house, just to get comfortable with it and be prepared and practice with it. Practice with it unloaded, practice pulling it, having a fake target. They have electronic devices now where you can shoot at the target just to get your accuracy down.
Exactly. There's actually I don't know if you know it, there's a new ammo store that opened up in Thousand Oaks. You're well aware of that?
Yeah, Rantillo Boulevard.
Yeah, right here Boulevard. And they have the simulator inside where you have to practice and have some fun in there. And a friend of mine went there the other day and said, she goes, it was so nice to do that. You're inside there. And it's good to see that we're actually getting businesses like that opening up, which I was shocked.
Yeah, I've seen some of our friends have put them on the wall, and as they just walk through their normal day, sometimes they pull out and they try to hit it on the wall just to see how their accuracy is.
Yeah, exactly. So what now, you have a CCW?
I do.
You do. So you went through the course to get your CCW, all that good stuff, right?
I went through a company called Trigger Burst.
Okay.
And Mike Rowan is the owner, does a fantastic job. It wasn't hard. It was a weekend. I go through 8 hours of learning about the law, legalities of everything, about the decisions you have to make. Usually you should have insurance, obviously. We've got
100% insurance.
Whatever the best insurance is, you want to get that one.
Yes.
That's what I have as well. And then 2 years, and we just came upon my 2 years. We went back in for renewal where you go back, do some more updated on the legal ramifications, and then you go shooting and hit the target so that you show that you're still accurate and you haven't lost your skills.
Okay, so going through all that, now you feel a lot more comfortable too, correct?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I think a lot of people get stuck in the day-to-day. They get their CCW or they get a gun, they put it in a drawer, and they only take it out when they see something happen in their area, maybe every 6 months or every year, and they're afraid. As part of my business, I own a security company. I was just at an older woman's house whose husband died a couple of years ago.
Oh, wow.
And she brought out a gun. She didn't know what to do with the gun. She brought out the gun. I said, well, let me check it out for you. And it was loaded and it was cocked.
Oh, no.
And I was like, hold on, give me this gun. Let's go outside. Let me clear it. So I pulled the bullets out, dropped the mag and, explained to her that, this is a very dangerous situation if you're not familiar with her. So she's going to join us on our upcoming training day in May to teach her and get confident on how to use the gun.
Well, good for you. I'm glad you actually discovered that before an accident might have happened.
Yes.
And that's the thing. That's another reason why I put the project together. Hearing that kind of stuff all the time, hearing about police officers going on calls where there's accidents like that, and and I just don't like that. So I want to make sure everybody understands the importance of safety.
Yeah, one of the first things when we put out from Move the Needle, when we put out this request for people, do you want to get more comfortable with guns? I was shocked at how many people said yes. I have a gun, but I'm not comfortable with it. My dad has a gun. My husband has a gun, and I'm afraid of the gun. So our first thing was bring everybody in and go through the safety of the gun and just let them feel comfortable with it. So
there you go.
Moving down the road, that if they see the gun, they're not going to run from it.
100%.
Pick it up wrong.
So what's the future looking like for Tim McCarthy now? What are your plans?
Well, I got into politics 3.5, 4 years ago. So my plans right now are to continue to work with our group and try to hold elected officials accountable, try to influence voters to make a smart decision. And the best way to do that is educate them.
There you go.
So we're working on that education piece. Like I said, we write into a lot of newspapers and articles, and we have meetings with these elected officials to kind of give them back, hey, here's the conservative point. Like, for example, when they closed down the Ventura County Fairgrounds for a gun show.
Yeah.
What are alternatives? Can we have a private showing? Where else can we go? Things like that. We try to talk to, now that we have a conservative majority, or at least a Republican majority in Ventura County, that they're able to listen to us a little bit more than the previous group of
That's good. That's good. Where can people find you to know where these events are, what you're doing? Do you have a website? Do you have an Instagram? What do you have?
Yeah, we have, probably the best way is to go on our website, which is movetheneedle-ca.org.
Okay.
Or CA for California. We also have an Instagram account, Move the Needle USA.
Okay.
Either one of those is great. And then if you get on the website, you can just hit the Contact Us button, tell us you heard us on Open Arms, and then we'll add you to our email list and keep you updated so you can see when we have events coming up and participate. We also do fundraising. We have
that'd be great.
Casino nights and golf tournaments and
wow.
Lots of stuff to try to bring people together and build our family, build our network, because we're going to need each other. Exactly. We need each other now more than ever.
100%. And again, family. That's a big thing on the show too, about family values, trying to bring that back. That makes a difference, a big difference.
It does. A lot of societies losing faith. We got to have faith in God, and we've got to have that nucleus of a family. There's an attack on that family right now. A lot of transgenderism is pushing hard. It's kind of like BLM pushed really, really hard 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Well, now this is the next wave of that push against the family, and we just got to hold tight and keep making new friends and reach out and bring people in that share the same values as you.
Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%.
And the biggest value is patriotism towards country. Right? We have the greatest country in the world.
We do.
Let's try to protect it and not let it go to the wasteland.
Let's not let go of our country.
But if it does, that's why we need that Second Amendment.
Of course.
Right? We want to use our voices first, and then a worst case scenario, we have to protect ourselves using that Second Amendment. We wouldn't have the First Amendment if we didn't have the Second Amendment.
You're right, 100% there. Well, Tim, I tell you, everything you've talked about today is just spot on. I love what you are all about. I love what you're doing. Move the needle. Again, anybody out there, try to go on that website. Try to go to the events. It sounds amazing. I thank you very much for coming on the show. I'd like to have you back too.
Sure.
Maybe after an event or something like that. I'd like to attend an event and then we could talk about it, something like that,
Yeah, maybe come back in after we do our next shooting practice at the range. We have 20 people signed up to come out. We put it out there, and within a week, we had 20 people sign up already.
Okay.
Just within a week.
100%.
Come back after that.
Again, Tim, I love it. One more time, where can they find you?
movetheneedle-ca.org.
Beautiful. Everybody, go check it out. Tim's been amazing. And again, that's our show for today. I want to thank everybody for tuning in. And again, follow us, openarms_defense training. Contact us if you want to be on the show. Anybody is a welcome guest on my show. And never forget, safety, family, and the Second Amendment.
Amen. Thanks, Brian.
Thank you.